Let's take you live to Ladysmith, where COTGTA MEC Bongi Sithole-Moloi earlier on gave an update following those devastating floods in KZN. Mlondi, if you can hear me, good afternoon, and thanks for you joining us at this hour. Perhaps you could just give us a brief update following that briefing that occurred earlier on. What came out of it?
Thank you very much, Lizel. The MEC for Cooperative Governance in KwaZulu-Natal was briefing us in relation, basically wrapping the province's disaster that this week, since Sunday, about over 1,000 houses were affected in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, but the worst affected area is the area of Ladysmith, where homes were affected. Also the cars, the infrastructure was damaged, especially the bridges in this area. She's telling us that this flood is not like the similar one, because they managed to put the concrete that was basically previously the town of Ladysmith was affected when there was flood, but this time the flooding did not happen in town. It happened in the area that they did not think that this water will basically go that side. But for now, the families in this area, they are still searching, because the search and rescue teams, they are out in their numbers to try and assist the families. Families in the area, they are still waiting, they are still hoping to get their loved ones from the river. But the challenge is that even though the search and rescue team is here assisting, but the water is still up in some parts of the river, as they are basically swimming, or they are looking along the river banks. They are swimming in the river, the Valsprut River here in Ladysmith. But also the other challenge that the families are raising is that waiting for the other search and rescue teams that are coming from other towns like Pietermaritzburg, Durban and Port Shepstone, it's taking long for them, because they want to know what is happening, because they also managed to search for themselves in the river from here to a Stateville cemetery, because they're saying that they believe that they might find their loved one in the area. But for now, the MEC is telling us that the Unlimited Foundation and other NGOs like your Red Cross, they are also assisting those families, because not one family has been taken to a hall, because they are saying that those families, they were taken in by the relatives or their neighbors who were not affected over the weekend when the flooding was happening. Back to you in studio, Lizelle.
So, Mlondi, after that, I mean, what are the most important needs of those who have been affected at this point during the festive season? And if we're looking at the weather patterns, what are we anticipating on that front? How do we mitigate against, more of this occurring?
They are still calling for the people that are staying next to the river banks or the flood-prone areas to try and move away from those areas, because the weather pattern in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, the rain is still there, is still possible for the next couple of days, according to the MEC, as she was briefing us today. She's saying that she's pleading with everyone that lives next to the river banks to try and get a better spot that for now they can be living there, and they are urging them to move away from those areas permanently. But she's telling us that earlier on she spoke to the residents in the area. Others are telling her that they stay in those areas because they are near the town, so it's better for them to stay there so that they'll be able to access town easily without basically boarding a taxi sometimes.